have fun and it can turn into tragedy. John Wilguess is with Safe Kids Oklahoma and joins me with a couple of warning signs for parents. So tragic.
Terribly tragic.
That story, and with more rain possibly coming, as Gary mentioned, you've got a warning.
Well, the warning is parents and caregivers of children need to focus in on telling their children to stay away from fast-moving water. I know it looks very attractive, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, but the ground moves underneath that fast-moving water, and just in the last several weeks, we've seen cars swept off roadways, and if the water can move a car, it can certainly take a child very much more rapidly than they think it can.
And with more water coming, more rain coming, I know you also have a warning in terms of lakes and rivers. That can be a problem too, because those can rise fast.
They can rise very fast, and many of the lakes around Oklahoma have spillways, and so if you get too close to that rushing water, you can be swept away very, very quickly.
What about life jackets? Sometimes that's a tough battle with kids. They need one, obviously, but how can you work with your children to stress the importance of it?
Well, first off, just letting kids know that life vests are something that the Coast Guard wears, that all of the professionals in the water wear, and so it's something that actually is all right to do. But primarily giving them a chance to see what it feels like. At Oklahoma Lakes now, Safe Kids Oklahoma has provided life vests for children to be able to have if they show up at a lake and don't have a vest to have on for themselves.
That's great to do for the community, because I'm sure a lot of families do show up unprepared, sadly. Rules for the pool. Let's run through some of those that you think are most important.
Number one, there needs to be a person who is watching the pool at all times whenever there are children anywhere around, whether they're in the water or not, and make certain that that person is dedicated to watching the pool, not talking on a cell phone, not reading a book or a newspaper, not drinking alcohol, doing nothing but focusing in on that group of children who are around the pool. Also making sure that they have 911 ready if something should happen.
That's smart. Now, ATVs. Another popular activity in the summer. What is your warning there for ATVs for families?
I'll tell you, ATVs are an awful lot of fun, but what we see repeatedly, and just over the last several days, there have been 2 deaths in the state because of ATV crashes. Make certain that if you have children around, that you are taking great care, that you are lessening the tire pressure in some of the ATVs so that the bounce is not as much. Or make certain that the throttle is turned back so that if you are allowing children, which you shouldn't be doing anyway, but if children are getting on those, make sure that you are turning those dials back so that the children can't go as fast.
Well, that was my next question. So it sounds like there's not an age-appropriate rider on an ATV.
I'll tell you, if you look at what state law is, they're looking at age 16 being an age where you should be selling ATVs for children, but the reality is that younger children are on ATVs on a regular basis, so make certain that they're helmeted, make certain that they have reduced the velocity of the engine, and also that the tire pressure has been reduced so that they're not bouncing around as much. That's a way to keep safe.
We appreciate you and what Safe Kids do.
Thanks very much.
Thank you for being here.